Just remember that an ordinary life can actually be quite beautiful. Not because it's filled with these great big moments, but because it's made up of small, quiet ones. This day was an ordinary day. Nothing really exciting happened, and in some ways it was very much like any other day. But there is nonetheless something special about it, even among the ordinary. There are flowers and fruit, and there are ideas for meals to brighten up your routine. And stick around till the end for a little heart-to-heart chat. There's beauty in things that are withering. Flowers need to dry up in order for us to collect their seeds so that we can plant them again next year. They wither and curl in on themselves not because they've failed, but because they've completed something. On this particular day, I canned some peaches with my daughter. The kitchen got very hot and steamy with the sticky smell of peaches. Canning peaches is kind of like canning summer. We filled our jars with these orange balls of sunshine so that in the middle of winter we can remember that there was indeed such a thing as summer and that it will come again. I have a few favorite meals, and one of them is pretty special because I can use many ingredients from our garden. And it's also a meal that everybody in our family absolutely loves. That meal is spaghetti and meatballs, but with a twist. I decided to make the pasta sauce using veggies from our garden, and it turned out so good that I will definitely make this recipe again. To make the meatballs, I used garlic and onions, chopped it all up pretty fine. So here's the twist. We have lactose intolerance in our family. So instead of adding milk to the breadcrumbs, I added tomato juice, and it turned out really good. I had put some tomatoes in the slow cooker the night before and added some more during the course of the day. We're at a point now where we have so many tomatoes to use up, and I'm always trying to think up ways to do that. What I'm using here are slicing tomatoes, which are juicier. Ideally, you would use paste tomatoes like Roma or Amish paste, but this is what we had at hand, and it worked just fine. We also like to grow a variety called albenga. It's a good one for both sauces and eating fresh. Spaghetti sauce is so great because it's delicious when you make it, and it's actually delicious the next day too. So I'm not sure that doing the dishes is really special, but it's definitely part of every day. And I thought I would include it here in the interest of keeping things real, because it's definitely part of my life over and over every day. On this day, I did the dishes when the meatballs were baking in the oven. I like to try and do that to keep the kitchen a little bit under control. When I'm doing this kind of work, I'm often thinking about trying to see it as a valid part of life. I think that it's in these quiet, repetitive moments like canning or cooking or even doing the dishes that those things can become the gentle heartbeat of a life. They don't demand very much from the outside world, but they do require something from us, from within us. They require our presence, they require our care, our attention. And in their own way, these little moments become markers of time. Not the kind that show up on calendars, but rather the kind that shapes our sense of home, of family, and of ourselves. If nothing else, it can mean that you were here, and you saw it, you lived it. And that, in itself, really is quite extraordinary. So, hello, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. The sun is shining outside here today. It's a beautiful day. And I thought I would just take a few moments and do a little catch up and have a little chit chat about something that's been on my mind, which is the why of things. So, why do you get up in the morning? What motivates you to do what you do? What is it that kind of keeps you going? So, I thought I'd talk about that a little bit. But first I wanted to give you a little update about this past week, which it was a big one for us, slipping back into homeschool and routines and all of that at the same time as doing seed saving and keeping the farm going and the house going. So it's been a big week, and we're kind of diving into an even bigger week with the amaranth harvest. So we grow this beautiful amaranth, which I'll surely show you. Hopefully I'll video all of it and tell you all about it next week. And we grow the seeds for a chocolate company called Chocosol, based out of Toronto. But in preparation for all of that, we've been getting the farm ready, kind of getting ourselves mentally ready for hosting a lot of people, and that should be a lot of fun. But what I wanted to talk about today was kind of like the big why of your everyday life. So why is it that you can keep going and, make meals every day and do the dishes every day and go through these kind of like monotonous things every single day? What is it that keeps you going? And for me, there's two things that came to mind immediately. And one of them is pretty obvious. It's my family, my partner, my kids, and they've been helping out. Actually, my kids cooked lunch today, which was really cool. It's like, wow, I didn't even help out one little bit. So sometimes it happens. I still have to do all the dishes. Haven't gotten there yet, but one thing at a time, right? And so my kids, my family, and my partner. And then the other thing is that keeps me really grounded is going out there and being in nature. So there's something about it that just kind of like calms me down, and I think it's really important. And I think it's also accessible to whoever. There's like green space everywhere, right? So even if you don't live on a farm, I think that it is possible to do that. And also my intention with doing these videos is to capture there's a big fly, is to capture the beautiful moments in our days. And that's a way of slowing me down. And I've realized that going out there with the camera is really beneficial for me personally, because it forces me in a way to notice these things that maybe I wouldn't notice otherwise. So that's a really neat thing about kind of taking the time to notice what's out there. And I think it's almost like a skill that you have to work at to slow down and to notice. It's not something that comes naturally for everybody, but I think that it's really worth it. So those are the two things. And I also wanted to mention this really neat thing that an older person told me, that I kind of want to record it so I don't forget it, because it's really neat. So she said, when you're going through an issue or a problem or whatever, something challenging, she thinks of it as crossing a river. So she's like, basically you paddle your way through it. You paddle and you paddle, and then after a while of going through it and just doing the motions and keep going, after a while you'll hit the other shore, and then you will feel grounded again. So I thought that was kind of a neat way to talk about or to think about how to get through little challenges in life, or maybe even big ones, I don't know, is this kind of paddling metaphor. And I like it because it shows that I always kind of want things to be done very quickly, and I get frustrated when it takes a lot of time. So for me, this is good to think about it this way, because poco a poco, right? Like some things do take time to get through. And so, I thought I'd share in case that kind of inspires somebody else in the same way that it did for me. And maybe you can carry that one on in your days. And I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope that things are going really well with you. I hope that you are enjoying the weather, enjoying this season, and I will talk to you very soon.